All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and haven't seen you in a couple weeks, everybody. We took a break over the holidays, decided to try to just chill out, see our family, see our friends, enjoy the time off. And so now we're back at it, doing a weekend wrap up of sports and lots to talk about. And of course, Jason Cameron's going to join us to do that. We're going to talk some football, basketball, some UFC. It's going to be a fun conversation. So dig in, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself something to eat, and we'll entertain you for the next little while. Oh my God, the national championship in college is on right now, and the score is 51-7. Georgia Bulldogs are gonna be two-time national champions, and I don't know. You mentioned earlier before this started, half the team going to the NFL. Maybe like 2/3, 3/4, maybe all these guys go to the NFL. This is a absolute crushing, dominating performance. 14-0 in the regular season, dominated everybody. And number 3 TCU does not look like they're in the same class. It's looked like men against boys here, and this is already over, and there's still 3 minutes left in the third quarter. This could get ugly.
That's awesome that they're not even in the same dimension, let alone like the same level. Like it's just like, oh wait, so because like if I'm the player on TCU, I go, what do you mean we still got a quarter left? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
this is gonna get bad. It's like,
oh man. This is rough. Yeah, look, the statistics for this team is just unreal. Stetson Bennett has thrown for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns already. He's ran for 2 himself. This guy was a Heisman Trophy finalist, finished 4th in the Heisman Trophy voting, but holy cow, he's got 5 touchdowns himself. Everybody that's caught a ball has scored a touchdown for Georgia. Not quite, but oh my God, these guys are just loving life. Holy cow, it is an absolute laugher. They said this is a lopsided affair, and it was a 13-point favorite for Georgia. But wow, holy cow, this team could go down in history as one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, it seems like they're probably going to go down because they're literally undefeated. Like they win this and then they've never lost a game because they don't know what that is. Yeah. Losing. What is that? We don't know what that is. But also too, if you're the Georgia head coach, it's like, what great PR we got going on here. Yeah. Everybody's going to want to come to our school because you know what we do? We make NFL players.
Yeah. Oh man, the recruiting job must be so easy for these guys now. Holy cow, they're going to be good for years and years to come because all the top players are going to want to go there. And holy cow, this is unreal. Yeah, I was excited to watch this game. I thought it was going to be, I thought Georgia would win, but we would see a big offensive explosion. TCU averaged 40 points a game this year and really was lighting up. But many of the teams only lost 1 game all season and really had a dominating performance in the semifinals. And I thought, holy cow, but this is this is not close. Georgia Bulldogs. Wow. Big party in Atlanta and all over Georgia. It's going to be pretty awesome. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of Georgia players being drafted into the NFL this offseason. Houston will not pick number 1 overall after that crazy, ridiculous Hail Mary win that they had. Got Lovie Smith fired because he lost a game that he won a game he wasn't supposed to. They were on the tank train there, and Chicago Bears actually get the number 1 overall pick. And I couldn't believe it how fast, like within like 3 or 4 hours, Lovie Smith was out of there because of that win. It was pretty pathetic.
It's kind of funny if you think about it. It's like you won, you're out. You're fired. How dare you win that game?
Yeah, that was nuts, man. I couldn't believe you'd think they would like evaluate it after a couple of days and say, we're gonna go in a different direction. Second straight year coach gets fired out of Houston, 1 season, that's all they give them. And they were on the tank program. I don't think it's going to affect them much because Chicago doesn't need a quarterback. They got Justin Fields, and I think he's the way of the future. They're going to go for a defensive player. I think Houston needs a quarterback, so they're going to draft high and get somebody at the top of the list there. And so it didn't really matter, but I think it was just all the fans were so mad. What are you doing winning? You won 2 out of the last 3 games. We had the number 1 overall pick, and you're gonna go and win? What are you doing? That's not in the game plan. Why are you doing this? Said Lovie Smith had to walk the plank.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think it's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction because at some point in time, they're going to have to make a decision on a head coach that's going to have to stay for a bit.
Yeah.
So you can actually, build something.
Yeah.
Because one and done, that's not going to do anything for your team. And that's not going to do anything for your organization.
No, and what good coach is going to want to go there? The thing's been a dumpster fire for 4 or 5 years, and it's just getting worse there. And they're not going to be able to attract the top coaches there because of what's been going on. And giving a guy an opportunity, you can't come in, change an entire culture, especially a team that's been really, really bad for a few years, and change it in 1 year and expect miracles out of this. I was really disappointed that Lovie Smith got fired.
Yeah, so am I, because I think if you had given the man some time, he could have done some good.
Yeah.
But 1 year is not nearly enough time. It's not enough time. Yeah, he won a game that probably shouldn't have won. You probably shouldn't have done that. But whatever. At the end of the day, was it really going to affect them that much overall going forward? Right. I don't think so.
No, you're right. Exactly. This is always Black Monday, the first Monday after the regular season ends. Coaches walk the plank. Lovey got it last night, so not quite into Monday, but Cliff Kingsbury was the big head coach firing after 4 seasons in Arizona. The Cardinals lost their last 7 games of the year, and it has been pretty ugly there. A lot of assistant coaches got fired today. There are some more guys on the hot seat. Possibly we're going to hear some more firings, but coaching vacancies in Houston, in Indy, with the Panthers, with the Raiders, Broncos, Nathaniel Hackett getting the axe there. Sean Payton seems to be the top candidate that everybody's talking about getting in there. A lot of talk about Jim Harbaugh maybe coming back out of the college ranks, but the Browns fired their defensive coordinator. The Tennessee fired 4 of their assistant coaches today. It's ugly on Monday after that regular season. I feel sorry for coaches. You just want to go and hide for a couple of days. Hopefully don't get the axe and get back to work. It's a tough day.
That's a tough day. Like you're hoping that if you're let's say a team like Seattle where you're like, woo, made it, got in the playoffs. All right. I can live for another year.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, well, there's only 14 guys that made the playoffs. I can't wait to break it down and get into all of that. This has been a crazy week, obviously, with Damar Hamlin. That was one of the toughest things I've ever had to watch live, seeing him collapse on the field. They have to perform CPR on him to revive him, bring him back to life. This happens when he gets to the hospital too. His heart stops and they have to get it going again. But the outpouring of love and support for this guy was unprecedented. It was so good to see, and it made me feel really good about football, about the football community, the fans, everybody involved in the sport really rallied behind this guy and his family. And it just made me feel very warm in the heart altogether.
Me too. First off, when you told me about it, and then I was because I was visiting with family, So I take a look and I go, and just the way that he collapsed, you're just like, that's not normal.
No.
That's not right, and that's not normal. I will say this, the protocols that the NFL have in place, thank goodness that they were well thought through, and those guys were on it. Those people saved his life.
Yeah.
And those are the heroes right there.
Yeah.
From both sides, from the Bengals side and obviously from the Bills side. Both those teams, both of them helped that young man, keep his life, And I love the fact that when the first thing he says when he gets up is,
Did we win? Did we win? Yeah.
Doc goes, yeah, you won the game of life. And I thought to myself, that's as poignant and as accurate a statement as there's ever been. It was, and also too, I agree with you. It was just great to see the humanity of everybody coming together to back this young man and pray for him, and hoping for the best that he comes out of it. Right? Like, it's just seeing everybody come together. It really, it just gave you that great feeling of like, this is what it is when humans come together for a certain cause, and it's a good cause. Yeah. This is the power that we have when we can come together like this. I wish we could come together like this more often when it doesn't actually involve something of magnitude.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tough when it takes a tragedy. It's funny how most of us will never get to see our celebration of life. We're going to be, gone, and all of a sudden everybody steps up. What a great guy. Oh my goodness. Oh, everybody's saying all these great things. And most of us don't really get to hear it until we're gone. And it's too bad about that. But this guy, got to have a second chance at life and got to have that outpouring of love and support. And I knew about him, obviously, but I found out so much more about him and how great of a guy he is, how much he gives back to his community that he grew up in. His just community activism has been just unbelievable. And to see over $8 million being donated to his charity, it's just so heartwarming and wonderful. And you could just tell from the smile on his face and the way his family responded that they just appreciated how much everybody really just wanted to show how important he was and how much everybody loves him.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he only set out with the idea of getting the goal of $2,500. $2,500. $8 million later, it's like, oh, I think you got it. I think you reached it. I think you reached your goal. So, and then the good news today was that he actually went home.
Yeah,
he went home.
Yeah, he got released from the hospital in Cincinnati. He went back to Buffalo. Has to spend some more time in the hospital. Trying to recover from this. It's obviously one of the most serious things we've ever seen in sports, and but he's made a miraculous recovery, and everybody says for what he went through, it's amazing that he's not he's been able to recover so quickly. It's power of prayer, power of being such a great athlete in such good shape, and I'm amazed that he's doing this well this quick.
Yeah, and I think there's probably some karma in there too, because he's just by all accounts he's just a great human being. Period. Right? Like, and he's certainly beloved by his teammates.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that. You could tell that. Like, even with when it happened, you saw Stephon Diggs literally take an Uber to see his boy in the hospital, right? So it was an outpouring of love for this young man, and it came across the nation.
Yeah.
And filtered into Canada, and I think, how about this? It filtered worldwide.
Yeah.
And it was just heartwarming to see that so many people actually cared.
Yeah.
So many people cared.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about sports. It does unite people. It doesn't usually take a tragedy to unite people. Usually, a victory, winning a championship. Suddenly, people are coming together. The funny thing about the Bills is that they're Ontario's team. I have lots of friends in Ontario, and they're all Bills fans. I go out there and everybody's wearing Bills gear. They're going down to their games all the time. By osmosis, I cheered for the Bills a lot when I was out there, and they played a few regular season games over the years in Toronto, and they became sort of Canada's team in a lot of ways.
Yes, they did. They definitely did. And because they're so close to the border to us. The other thing I wanted to mention was I thought this is absolutely classy move by the Bills. Absolute classy move. Because of the way his contract is structured. Like if he was supposed to go on IR for a certain length of time, he wasn't going to get all of his money. The Bills said, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. The man is going to get all of his money. Awesome. They went through the NFL. They went through the NFLPA. That is done. He's going to be fully paid.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's so great, and such a classy move, and we just want the best for him and his family, and hopefully he can get back to 100% and resume his career. And I think it's got a long road ahead, but what a crazy week. It went from, a week ago tonight, I was so looking forward to that Bengals Bills game. I thought, this could be game of the year. It was top two teams battling it out. And then, not even half a quarter, we're suddenly, holy cow, this game is not happening. And this game is completely canceled. And we have to deal with everything here. And all of a sudden, had to wait till Sunday to figure out the seeding, figure out all the teams that made the playoffs and who was going to play where. And it happened. I'm excited for the weeks ahead. Last year, you and I talked on the podcast about how incredible the playoffs were last year. We couldn't have even wrote a script that was that great. And I think we're going to see another amazing year of playoffs this week. There seems to be a few mismatches, but I think going forward, we're going to see the most elite teams and a lot of great football ahead.
I think we're going to see a lot of great football ahead, but I'm going to say it right now. There might be a certain team that has more to play for than anybody else in all the 14 teams. And that would be Buffalo.
Sure. Yeah. That's they sure do. They have a lot to play for, and oh man, it's it would be so poignant if they were able to pull this off and win the Super Bowl for Damar and for everybody Bills Mafia. Nyheim Hines running that kickoff back seemed like there was a bit of divine intervention, being able to take that 96 yards and get the opening score 14 seconds into the game. I could see a lot of guys crying and so happy. What an absolute amazing moment to start that game.
Yeah, it was. You're absolutely right. Like everybody was tearing up. Even the broadcasters in the booth were tearing up. Like, or it's just like, it's almost as if you felt it. Yeah. You felt it. You felt something more than what we are. There's just something more.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. And right. It was fantastic. It was just a fantastic feeling to see that happen. Yeah. And to know that apparently they talked before, and he said, and Damar's like, I think you're going to take one back to the house. But what he didn't know was that he's going to do it twice.
Do it twice. Yeah, that was awesome. So awesome. Yeah, it was incredible. And, like I said, you can't even script stuff like this. And that was special to see. Holy cow. Oh my God, he's actually going to take this back. I think, it would be amazing to see the Bills go all the way this year. And And yeah, they do have a lot to play for now. So we'll see how it pans out. As always, we start in the NFC though. We have done that all season. We shouldn't break from protocol, and let's do it. Obviously, the Eagles were the top team all season long, and continued that way. They get the bye. They got Jalen Hurts back after missing a couple weeks. It started making the standings a little more interesting because Gardner Minshew is not quite Jalen Hurts, and they lost a couple while he was in. Jalen Hurts came back, and they were able to get the win, squeaked it out over a Giants team that weren't playing very many guys, but I think Hurts isn't quite 100%. They seem to have a limited type of play calling with him back, but Eagles get a bye, another week to rest up and get ready for the playoffs ahead for them.
Yeah, it was pretty clear to me that he wasn't going to be doing any running plays. Hurts, like he was like, you're going to stay in the pocket, you're going to pass the ball, and if you can't get anybody, throw it away.
Yeah, yeah.
It was pretty simple, very
yeah.
because they couldn't risk him getting hit, and they couldn't risk him getting any more hurt than what he already was. Right?
Yeah.
So
So they are the top seed. That's the first time since 2017 that they were the top seed going in, and they won the Super Bowl that year. So my money's on them going that way this year. We'll see how it pans out. But number 2 seed ended up being the San Francisco 49ers. They absolutely destroyed the Cardinals, put that proverbial nail in the coffin of Cliff Kingsbury, and they won 38-13. Brock Purdy was good, just serviceable is what you need. You just need him to, throw 20 balls and 180 yards, good enough. 3 touchdowns, and this team is a juggernaut. 10 straight wins going into the playoffs. And man, they are looking absolutely phenomenal right now. I don't know. Look out, the rest of the league. This team is very formidable.
Yeah, they're formidable. I feel that Purdy and Kittle have like a little special connection now that since he's been in, because he's been able to find Kittle like a ton since he's been playing, since he's been back there quarterbacking. And they just have weapons everywhere. Like they're a dark horse favorite of mine. Like, because I just see them, they're super dangerous. Yeah. Like if you're a defense going, well, who do we double? You don't double anybody because you can't. Yeah. There's too many weapons out there, man. There's just too many.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. With that acquisition of Christian McCaffrey, they became so deadly on offense, and you just really got to pick your poison. You got to try to, be there. You probably can't double anybody because the other guy's going to hurt you. Elijah Mitchell came back. He had been out for a little while. He only gave him 5 carries, but he got 2 touchdowns out of those 5 carries. So another weapon that's great. You mentioned Kittle. He got a couple touchdowns as well. On defense, their defense is super, super great. Tashawn Gibson had 2 picks of the 3 that the Cardinals threw, and he was phenomenal. I do want to mention J.J. Watt was in this game, ended his career with a couple sacks, many quarterback pressures, looked rejuvenated the last few games, and really ended his career on a phenomenal note. I was impressed with the classiness of the 49ers fans, gave him a massive standing ovation, and really showed him the love that he deserves for a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, exactly. Very classy of the 49ers fans to do what they did. And just giving respects to a Hall of Fame, great, as he should. And he leaves on his own terms. As man, did that dude play for a long time at a very tough position.
Yeah, holy cow. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he's one of the greatest of all time, and great to see him go out on a high. This team had Brendan Ayuk over 1,000 yards. Nick Bosa had 18.5 sacks. Just missed out on Aldon Smith's franchise record, only 1 behind. They sat him a little bit in the later stages. Okay, so everybody here in the Pacific Northwest was super excited. Seahawks made it. They were able to get their victory and then had to wait and see if the Lions could actually beat the Packers. And amazingly enough, Dan Campbell got his team up for this win, got them to beat the Packers, even though they were already eliminated. And Seahawks make it. But guess what? They have to face the 49ers. Rough. They've lost to them twice this year already. And this is probably the worst team that they could have faced. There was other teams that were in the mix for that 2 position. And I feel sorry. I think it's going to be one and done for the Seahawks this year. But what a great accomplishment. Very impressive what Geno Smith and this team has put together. Nobody had them making the playoffs this year, and they squeaked in. Unfortunately, they have to face the mighty Niners.
Yeah, unfortunately, they got to face the Niners. But as you just mentioned, they got in when nobody gave them that chance to even sniff the playoffs. Yeah. I know I was one of those people going, wow, I guess they'll be lucky if they go 5-12. That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought that was what their future held for them. But they overachieved, you could say. But also, too, I think what helped them was the fact that they drafted so well this year.
Yeah.
Now, if they can nail it again like they did this year, the Seahawks are going to have a foundation that they can build on. Just like how they had the Legion of Boom in that era back then.
Yeah.
They can do that again. They can get that done again. Well, Seahawks fans are going to be ecstatic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be great. Hopefully, they can keep that up. They were able to bring in some amazing rookies this year that contributed heavily to this win. And, I think the season was a success. Just making the playoffs was a big success. They've went through a lot of changes, lost their franchise quarterback, one of their best linebackers that they ever have had. And, that Legion of Boom is long gone now. They had to, piece this together and, to make the playoffs, it was impressive. The 2 games that they played against the Niners this year, they had a close game. On December 15th, the 49ers beat the Seahawks 21-13. But in the early game in September, 49ers won 27-7. This probably won't be close. Niners are favored by 9.5. And this is the Saturday game, the early game on Saturday, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. This kicks off the playoffs. This will be the first game of the weekend. Hopefully Seahawks can play well. You never know, but I'm favoring the Niners on this one.
Yeah, I am favoring the Niners too as well. It's a nice story that they made the playoffs, but I believe that's as far as they go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, let's turn to the Vikings, who became the 3rd seed, the first 13-win team in history to actually have less points than they allowed. They won 11 of their 13 games by 1 score. They got blown out in their losses, but this team has done it with smoke and mirrors. They got some amazing talent, but this has been the craziest season I remember ever watching. Never thought you could trust the Vikings the whole season long, but they're the 3rd seed. They go into this game, won a game, their last game, and they faced the Giants. I think I'm favoring the Vikings. Some people are picking the Giants, but what do you think we're gonna see in this battle?
Oh man, you see, it's the Vikings, right? Like where I want to go. Well, of course they're gonna go for the Vikings, but then I remember, but it is the Vikings. It's the Vikings, right? So I'm gonna go with yes. I think the Vikings are gonna pull this out. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants managed to beat them by a field goal at the same time, right?
No.
I believe though that the Vikings have a better team, and they definitely have more offensive weapons than the Giants do. And I think that's always been a limiting factor for the Giants throughout the course of this year. They just They just don't have the horses. They don't have the same amount as some of the top teams that are in the playoffs with them, right? So, yeah.
These teams face each other just once this year. The Vikings were able to win on a 61-yard field goal as time expired. Greg Joseph kicked the field goal, won. When you look at the stats in that game, the Giants actually had better numbers. Daniel Jones had better numbers than Kirk Cousins. Saquon Barkley had better numbers running the ball. The Giants did everything that they needed to do to win, but Vikings, with their luck this year, somehow pulled it out. And this is a crazy Vikings team. I won't be surprised if they win this game, but I won't be surprised if they get blown out either. It's been just so bizarre to watch how the Vikings have put together the season. If it's close, the Vikings win. They always have this year. But the Giants, Brian Daboll has turned this franchise around. He's going to get a consideration for Coach of the Year, and Saquon Barkley consideration for Comeback Player of the Year. This team has looked pretty good. Daniel Jones has looked quite well in a lot of the season, and this will probably be an entertaining game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. I think it should be a close game because it's just because it's the Vikings. That's what they do. We're just like, well, we're good enough that we could blow you out, but we don't do that. Make it exciting.
Exactly. Okay, so this game is on the Sunday, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern time. Vikings are favored right now by 3 points. They are 8-1 at US Bank Stadium this year. And they are favored by a field goal. I wouldn't be surprised if the pundits got that perfectly right this year. 4 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of only 6 teams to make the playoffs with a losing record, finishing 8-9 on the season, winning the NFC South. Lost that last game 30-17, and just an up and down year. Really bizarre that they go from Super Bowl champion a couple of years ago to really struggling this year, not being able to pull it together. I don't really know what we're gonna see, but Tom Brady's that X factor, the greatest of all time. You can't count him out because you really would go poor if you did. And we'll see what happens against the Cowboys, who came in at the 5th seed. They also came into the playoffs on a terrible note. Lost 26-6 to the Commanders. Absolutely horrible running attack. This probably was Dak Prescott's worst game of the year. Actually bookended. His worst game before this game was the game against the Bucs. First game of the year, they got beat 19-3, and he was pathetic. Another horrible performance by him, and he's actually one of the reasons why Dallas isn't even higher in the standings, because he just keeps throwing pick sixes, keeps throwing interceptions to the other team. 7 straight games with a pick, and this is a tough one. I'm favoring Brady over Dak for sure, but the rest of the Dallas is better than Tampa Bay. But I don't know what we're gonna see. Probably close, but this is quite the toss-up in my opinion.
So the one thing I've noticed with the Bucs is they've had a problem taking care of the football. A lot of turnovers in the last couple of games leading up to them going into the playoffs. And Dallas's D is no joke. No. They're the real deal.
Awesome.
And Dak likes to throw interceptions. I see this game being a very turnover-laden game. Yeah. And then the team that turns over the ball less is probably going to win this game.
Sure.
That's what I see. I'm going to give the advantage to Dallas just because of their superior defense. That's why I would give it to them. But again, there's that guy. There's that Brady guy, right? Yeah. And it's so hard to go against him because every time you think you go, The old man's done. Doesn't have it anymore. He's done.
Yeah.
Then he just goes, no, actually I do, and I'm gonna win another Super Bowl. And it's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Retire.
Yeah.
Go. Right?
Yeah. Almost everybody wants him to retire and just call it, but he doesn't want to. He wants to keep rubbing it in, winning more championships. I wouldn't put it past him, but this team, this is a tough team. I don't know. I think this is the first time he's had a losing record in any season he's ever had. So, not very confident in his ability to work his magic and get this going. Dallas is a bit better team, but you just never know what you're gonna see with Dallas. They can be so inconsistent, and we'll see how it comes together. This is the Monday nighter. It'll be 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern time. Interesting that they have 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and a Monday nighter in the playoffs here for Super Wild Card Weekend. But we will be doing our podcast in the middle of that one, and we'll have to do some live updates while that one's going on.
Yeah, we're going to be definitely doing some live updates on that one, and it could be like a very much a turnover affair in that game.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, okay. Why don't we get into the AFC now? We can touch into the AFC. The Chiefs locked up the top seed with 31-13 win over the Raiders and finished with a 14-3 record. They used a very run-heavy approach and scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. They get the bye that's very valuable this time of year. Everybody's banged up. Patrick Mahomes could be the MVP, probably secured that when he got first overall seed here. Do you realize that Patrick Mahomes is the oldest quarterback in the AFC? Of the 7 playoff teams, he's the oldest QB out of all 7 teams. How bizarre is that at 27 years old?
That's so weird. That is. I did not realize that at all. Now that I look and I go, oh Jesus, he is the old man. Old man Mahomes getting it in.
We got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, all 26 years old. Then we got Tua and who else? Oh, and then Trevor Lawrence, 23. It's crazy, that he's the old man. We were just talking about Tom Brady, and he's 45, is he now? 46, whatever he is. And the oldest quarterback in the AFC is Patrick Mahomes. That's just when I noticed that today, I just couldn't believe it, and I couldn't wait to say it because it just shocked the hell out of me.
And also, too, you know what it signifies? It signifies a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
It signifies that, this is now the new generation going forward. Because, the old dogs of Rodgers and Brady, they're in the twilight of their career. It's coming to a close. Well, at some point, it's got to come to a close for Brady. I've always thought that. I don't know when that's going to happen now, but at some point in time, these guys are going to be hanging them up, and these guys are going to carry the league going forward.
You mentioned the new guard coming in, old guard leaving. This is actually something that in the NFL about playoffs. It's really amazing, and it has to do a lot with parity, salary cap. This is the 33rd season in a row. At least 4 new teams made the playoffs this year that didn't make it last year. That's a pretty shocking amount. This year, it's the Vikings, the Giants, the Jags, Dolphins, the Chargers, all making the playoffs after missing it last year. So, you're on a team, or you're cheering for a team that's low this year. Look out, they can turn it around in a draft. That's the one great thing about the NFL draft is you can get some help right away and turn things around. You can plug those holes, get the pieces you're missing, and suddenly be a playoff team after missing out badly the season before.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? You heard it here first. I'm gonna say it. I firmly believe next year, I think Detroit's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. Like just the way that they played, the fact that they did not give up on themselves, even though they weren't playing for a spot, and they took it to Green Bay and they beat them. I'm saying it right now. I believe they're going to make the playoffs next
year. That was a great performance for them down the stretch, and amazing that they were able to do that. It was super impressive. Okay, so we're gonna see the Chiefs in a couple weeks. We'll see how everything pans out for them. The second seed in the AFC is the Bills. We mentioned them earlier when we talked about Damar Jackson. That was a very impressive performance, a 35-23 win over the Patriots, sending Bill Belichick home. Belichick doesn't miss the playoffs. His team have for the last couple seasons here, but this is a changing of the guard, as you said. That divine intervention, Nyheim Hines getting that touchdown to start the game, having 2 kickoff returns, and they looked great. Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns. The defense had 3 interceptions. There was a lot of threes. Damar Hamilton being 3. As I said, Josh Allen, 3 touchdown passes, defense 3 picks. That was the first time they had returned a kickoff for a touchdown in 3 years and 3 months. So threes all over the board. That was their 7th win in a row. First time they've done that since 1990 when they made the Super Bowl back then. And they dominated. They were the class of this division by far, and they get to face division rival Miami right now, who's all banged up. That was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. Their win, that was terrible. Dolphins come in here. Buffalo's 10.5-point favorites. They play on the early game on Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I think this really could be a blowout, even if Tua comes back.
I think it is going to be a blowout because Miami historically does not play well in cold weather.
Right.
And they're going to Buffalo. Yeah. Man. And so Buffalo just like, oh, you guys love your surf, you love your beaches. There's none of that here. None of it.
Right.
Oh, you got to deal with the cold now. I don't think this is going to be a close game. I honestly don't think this is going to be a close game for them.
No, it doesn't seem like it will be close at all. And the Dolphins just squeaked in there. I was not cheering for the Dolphins. The Patriots, Dolphins, and the Steelers all had a chance. Steelers won, and I thought, okay, great to see Tomlin in there. I appreciate him, one of the greatest coaches in the league, and I thought they did everything they needed to do. They looked great doing it, and Dolphins played horribly, and squeaked in there. I wasn't excited to see the Dolphins or the Patriots, and the Dolphins made it. So hopefully the Bills blow them out and move on. We can see them face one of these other top teams in the AFC. One check-in on the College Football National Championship. The backup quarterback is in for Georgia, so they're not going to run it up too much more. It's 65-7 with 3 minutes left. Insane numbers for so many of the Georgia players. It's awesome. Stetson Bennett, 304 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 7 carries for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. So 6 touchdowns for Stetson Bennett. And a lot of the lesser lights are getting an opportunity to play now, and maybe they're getting scouted to be NFL draft picks soon as well.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Like it's kind of funny to me because you're looking at this and going, okay, so what's the point now? So Georgia's just going to keep winning the next 4 to 5 years straight.
Yeah,
which they might. They might.
Yeah, Alabama has been the consensus best team in the past half dozen years, but Georgia's come in and took 2 national titles in a row, and Wow, wow, what a dominating, amazing year. This is going down in the record books, one of the greatest ever. So good on you. Congratulations, Georgia. Okay, let's go to the third seed in the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. They won the AFC North 12-4. That was their 8th victory in a row, and they are firing on all cylinders. The winners of the AFC last year, looking back to just as good this year, and they were able to easily beat Baltimore 27-16, setting up a rematch with Baltimore this weekend. Baltimore's been hurting with their quarterbacks out. Lamar Jackson has been out. Anthony Brown came in this past week, the third stringer, and Huntley has been out. Not sure if Lamar gets back. Not sure if Huntley gets back. Obviously, this will be a one-sided affair if they're using their third string quarterback. Joe Burrow just had to have an average game. He got help, obviously, with Mixon and Chase and the rest. But yeah, this is a juggernaut game as well, and a team that's looking like they're going to go far too.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking very good. There's too many question marks with the Ravens right now. Like, is Lamar good enough to play? We don't know that. Is Huntley good enough to play? We don't know that either. Is Brown going to play? That is likely could be a possibility. And I'll just say this right now: Brown plays, Ravens don't win.
No,
not gonna happen. No. It's just not gonna happen, man.
You can't expect it to be the same as the Niners, who have been able to win with a third stringer. But Huntley has a bad shoulder and a wrist. Lamar has a bad knee, and Lamar's legs are, what's his biggest weapon. If he can't run, they're in big trouble. Cincinnati's only a 6-point favorite here, but I think they're in the money to defend their AFC title, and that will be the 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing Cincinnati getting in against the Chiefs or the Bills. These will be titanic battles between two or three of the best teams in football.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too as well, where the Bengals go forward and they play one of those teams, and we're given an exciting, entertaining game, which it definitely will be.
Yeah, well, the Bengals beat the Chiefs 3 times in 2022, and Joe Burrow is not afraid of Patrick Mahomes, and that will be a battle if those two teams can meet. I will definitely be tuning in, and that could be one of the best games of the year.
Could be definitely be one of the best games of the year. Whoever the Bengals do end up facing in the second round, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. In the AFC, the 4 seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just the same as the NFC, that South team, pretty pathetic year, really, when it comes down to it. But Jacksonville actually earned it. They were behind Tennessee all season long after such a horrible start. Turned it around. Doug Peterson deserves Coach of the Year candidate votes, and so does Trevor Lawrence as a great sophomore season there this year. They turned this around, able to win with a 9-8 record, beat Tennessee, who dropped 7 in a row to fall out of that top position. And the Jags won their last 5 games. Now they get to play the Chargers. This game has all the markings of probably being the tightest game of the weekend. This is going to be cool to see Herbert against Lawrence, 2 of the really young up-and-coming QBs, and first time both for in the playoffs. I think this could be really, really, really fun matchup.
I agree. I think this is going to be a super entertaining game. I think it's going to be a close game, and I have no idea who's going to win this game. I really don't. I think, personally for me, I think this is a coin flip. I really do. I think this is a coin flip, because Jacksonville has been hard charging, but the Chargers have been up and down, the entire year.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be just a very entertaining game. I have no idea who's going to win this game. You know what? I take it back. I am a Chargers fan, so I'm going to go for the Chargers.
Nice.
I have no confidence, by the way, none, but I'll cheer for my Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cheering for the Chargers too. I'm a little nervous on how the Jags juggernaut has been going. They seem to get a lot of confidence. I was really worried when Mike Williams went down in this game with a back injury. For some reason, Brandon Staley was playing a ton of his regulars, and I was really angry at him. Brandon Staley, to me, has made a lot of mistakes, and I don't see Doug Peterson doing the same. I think the coaching advantage is huge in favor of the Jags here, but I think the Chargers do have enough weapons to win this game, and it'll be interesting. The Jags did win their only meeting of the year, but that was back in September 25th. The Jags won 38-10, but these are completely different teams by now. The Chargers didn't have Keenan Allen in this game. No running attack for some reason. And Austin Eckler has been one of the top players this season. He's been that Swiss Army knife that gets a ton of carries, gets a lot of catches out of the backfield. And this is going to be fun. I'm excited. This definitely has all the earmarkings of the best game, one of the best games of the weekend. It will happen at 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern on Saturday. And the Chargers are 2.5-point favorites by Vegas. So hopefully they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Hopefully, we'll I guess we're going to see. We're going to find out. But yeah, I believe I just want to add one more thing. When Williams went out with that injury, I think that's when Staley said, "Oh, maybe I should take some of those guys out of the game."
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was so shocked. A lot of the teams that knew where they were seeding wise were resting their starters, getting a lot of the other guys involved in the mix. And I was shocked that Herbert was in there, Williams was in there, Eckler was in there, a lot of their top guys. And thank goodness it doesn't seem like this back injury for Mike Williams is serious. Just spasms. The MRI was negative. And I think they'll have the full complement of guys there. So these are some of the odds if you want to place some bets on your teams out there. The Chiefs are actually the favorite to win the Super Bowl. The Bills are next. The Eagles are third. Niners are fourth. Bengals, Cowboys, Chargers, and Bucks are following them. The Vikings, Ravens, Jags, and the Dolphins are following that. The Dolphins, the Giants, and the Seahawks are all 50 to 1 to win the title, but I would stick up probably the top 5 teams: Bengals, Niners, Eagles, Bills, and Chiefs. I think put your money on one of those. You probably can't go wrong. All those teams are really good right now. And I would bet a lot of money that the Super Bowl champion comes out of those 5 teams.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. The finals that I envision happen, I see with my magical eye.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the Bills and the 49ers.
Do you?
Yeah, something just tells me that I don't know. It's almost like this Brock Purdy guy is reminding me of a certain somebody. Kind of came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm really good. I don't know why nobody noticed me before, right? So, and because he's playing like that right now, he's playing like a savvy veteran. So,
yeah, I still I think it's going to be the Eagles and the Bills. Those are my picks to be in the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles have been the best team all season, and now Hurts is back, and they're going to get rested up. Got that bye. I think that bye is huge for both the Chiefs and the Eagles, and I think it's going to be a big help to get them over the hump.
Yeah, it's going to be big, especially for Philly, especially for Hurts as he's trying to get over that injury. The more rest he gets, the better off he's going to be, obviously.
Yeah. I just wanted to let's make some quick picks on players of the year. Some of the most impressive performances of the season. I want to say MVP. My pick would be Patrick Mahomes for MVP. Other guys in the running are Hurts and Burrow. You can go off the board, but who would you say is the MVP of this season?
It's kind of hard to go against Mahomes, isn't it? At this point in time, it's kind of hard. I think a close second would be Hurts, but I think it's Mahomes.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to go against Mahomes.
I think if Hurts didn't have those couple games missing, didn't get injured, I think he wins this. But I think Mahomes wrapped it up being healthy all year and getting that first overall in their conference, and that probably wraps it up for him. Coach of the year, a lot of good candidates. Shanahan, Sirianni, Doble, Doug Peterson. I think I'm going for Shanahan because he did so much with his third string quarterback and wasn't able, didn't miss a beat, 10 in a row going into the playoffs. The other guys had really phenomenal years, but to me, I think Shanahan wrapped it up getting, just piecing it together at the quarterback position, which is the most important position in football.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Dark horse favorite for me would be Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
For the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. If they made the playoffs,
If they made the playoffs, for sure, he would have won.
Yeah.
For sure. But I'm still going to mention, I'm going to throw his name out there because I think what he's done for that team has been very impressive.
Yeah. Comeback player of the year. I've got 3 candidates here. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Geno Smith. I'll let you pick first, and I'll tell you who I think is going to get it.
It's going to be Barkley. It's got to be Saquon. It's got to be Saquon, man, because he had so much to prove, and I thought he delivered this season for sure.
I'm going with Geno Smith. I think he ended up being the darling. I think after such a tough career, being in the league for that many years, never really getting a chance for the last half a dozen years, and being able to come in, take this team that was supposed to be rebuilding, wasn't supposed to be winning. They were going to be winning 4 or 5 games according to everybody. Took this team to the playoffs. Was the most accurate quarterback all season long, and was the biggest reason why the Seahawks are there. I think Geno Smith deserves it and will get it.
Yeah, but it's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick, but I was just super impressed with Barkley, and then knowing that he was the engine that made Giants run, especially on offense. That's why I'm going with Saquon.
Cool. Okay. Offensive player of the year. We've got Tyreek Hill, who was amazing in Miami. Travis Kelce, another phenomenal year with the Chiefs, and Justin Jefferson setting records in Minnesota. He's my pick.
He's my pick too because he beat a lot of Randy Moss's records.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, Randy Moss. So, yeah, he would be my pick.
Okay. How about defensive player of the year? I'll give you 3 choices. Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Chiefs. Micah Parsons, edge rusher for the Cowboys. And Nick Bosa, edge rusher for the Niners.
Nick Bosa came on pretty hard at the end of the year. I'd still go with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I'd go with him.
I think Nick Bosa deserves it, but I think because Micah Parsons is with the Cowboys, I think he'll probably get it. He'll be the consensus pick. Defensive rookie of the year. I've got Tariq Woolen, cornerback for the Hawks. Aiden Hutchinson, defensive lineman for the Lions. and Sauce Gardner from the Jets. I think Sauce is the guy.
Yeah, you like Sauce? I like Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice.
Actually, I thought that he was fantastic for the Lions. For the entire season. So that was
yeah. And one last pick, offensive rookie of the year, Garrett Wilson from the Jets, Chris Olave from the Saints, and Tyler Algier, running back from the Falcons.
Tyler Algier for the Falcons.
Nice.
I thought he just had a solid season all around.
Good. Consistent. I think Chris Olave will probably get the nod, but all three guys had absolutely amazing year and really good rookie of the year. So okay, that's NFL story. Super excited. Super wild card weekend is less than a week away, and man, I plan to see every second of every game. This is when football becomes super fun because you don't have to miss any action. No games are going back to back up against each other. You get to watch all 60 minutes of all the games, and there'll be a few blowouts, unfortunately, this weekend, but let's hope most of them are really close, tight games, and we get to see some awesome football.
Yeah, like as long as they're entertaining, because let's be honest, we're not going to be treated like we were last year, because that's something that will come about every 60 years. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just not a normal occurrence. It'd be great if it was. Like, believe me.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be phenomenal. Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed we don't have to wait 60 years for something like that. But last year was a special year. But there are, as I mentioned, there are 5 teams that are, some of the best teams that ever assembled. And it's going to be a battle between those guys to try to become the Super Bowl champion this year.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an absolute war. I look forward to it. I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's just touch on the NBA a little bit. Why don't we start with some great news? Players of the week. LeBron James named Player of the Week for the Western Conference. Lakers have won 5 games in a row, 6 of their last 7, and LeBron James is the main reason. Anthony Davis went down. Everybody just started writing him off. Thomas Bryant has come in there and really helped out. Dennis Schroeder's playing well. Actually, Russell Westbrook's playing good, but LeBron is driving this bus. He has averaged 35 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists in this run, and he's chasing down Kareem. It looks like only about 420 more points, and he's got this. Looks like somewhere February 9th is about that tipping point where he's going to get that record. And it's amazing to see this guy still performing this amazing at 38 years old.
You kind of wonder how. How is he doing this? Like, how is it possible that this 38-year-old man is playing like some of his best basketball of his career right
ever
now?
of his career? Like, yeah, this is unreal. Another guy. We mentioned Tom Brady a bunch, and he had some career years the last couple, but man, this is a guy that runs up and down the court, plays a lot, has been up there playing long seasons, year after year, and still having absolutely amazing resurgence. Not even resurgence, just continuing this amazing trajectory of a career 20 years in.
Yeah, and you think like eventually there'd be a dip, like there's got to be a crash, right? But LeBron goes, no, I think I can be better. They can get better, and it's just like, what? He doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's an impossibility.
Yeah,
like if I were to say to somebody, say, what if there's a guy, 20 years in, and in his 20th year has his best season out of the 20? People are like, wait, crazy? You take crazy pills? No, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. But he does that. That's what he does, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool and so amazing to watch. And yeah, we're blessed. We're blessed to be in this era, getting to watch this guy play. He is legendary and phenomenal, and pleasure to watch for sure. Eastern Conference Player of the Week was Donovan Mitchell. He started off the week with a career high 71 points, only the seventh guy in history to break the 70-point plateau. He led the team to a 3-1 record, averaged 38 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he is really driving this Cleveland Cavaliers to a complete turnaround with their franchise. After LeBron left, this team fell on some hard times, but he's being able to come in there and really help this team. They are tied for third now in the East. And yeah, I love this. This was a bit of a controversial trade because they gave up a ton, but man, has this worked out for Cleveland?
Yeah, it has definitely worked out in their favor. Because like now you could definitely argue that might be the best backcourt in the NBA with him and Darius Garland in the back, and the fact that all of a sudden Donovan Mitchell he's playing defense. That's the one thing that really stands out to me.
Nice.
Like he is putting major effort into his defense, which was pretty much non-existent in Utah.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed. I'm impressed with like he's taken several steps up in his game, and it's just like it's almost as if the change has done him so much good that it's completely changed him as a player.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great to see a guy change his game and become an all-around player. And yeah, this has been a resurgence for him. Tomorrow night, he returns to Utah. First time since the big trade. Will be interesting to see how the fans respond. I'm sure they'll have a video tribute to him. And it'll be interesting to see how tough and hard he plays to try to beat them. This is the trade. These are the guys. This is how much they got for him. Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, a prospect, and 3 first-round draft picks for him. Utah's set up for many years to come, but this was a huge gamble on Cleveland's part in a way, but it sure has worked out. And yeah, it'll be fun to see him back in Utah. And he also is back in Utah for the All-Star game in about a month. That will be wild to see how he's treated tomorrow night and at the All-Star game, which will be, I'm sure he'll be in the mix coming up.
Yeah, I think the fans have always appreciated him. I'm sure they'll welcome him back with open arms to a point. Yeah. You know, they obviously still want their team to win, but Donovan has given the Jazz fans a lot of great memories, and I think they're still welcoming.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. Okay. There's a big return supposedly happening this week. Steph Curry is supposed to be able to play on Friday against San Antonio. The rest of the team has rallied around a little bit. Clay is playing great. I'm really liking a lot of what Wiggins is back. I'm liking a lot of what the lesser lights are bringing to this, and it'll be really nice to see Steph back after missing about a month, and hopefully he can get himself back into playing shape real quick.
Yeah, I think that's just a matter of time, maybe just a couple of games for Steph. I'm just overjoyed that Klay Thompson has found his game.
Yeah.
And he's playing so well. Like just what was it, a couple of games back, dropped 54. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he's coming back. Yeah. And the only thing that the Warriors actually need to figure out, road wins.
Yeah.
If they can win on the road, it would be like, this team, because they don't lose at home. They have the best home record in the NBA. And I think the worst road record.
I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah, so weird. Yeah, I don't know how can it be so massively different? I think they've only won 3 games on the road, and almost unbeatable at home. So yeah, they got to sort that out for sure.
Yeah, like if they can sort that out, and again, I think one of their problems is just to get their defensive rotations set. Like their defense is lacking right now. If they can clean that up, oh man, then watch out.
Yeah, they're in 6th place in the conference right now, and watch out. I think they have a chance to move way, way, way up. 2 teams that are really doing great at the top of the conference right now are the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. Nuggets are first overall. Actually, they're tied with the Grizzlies now after Grizzlies won their 6th straight. Nuggets have won 8 of their last 10. Man, I'm impressed with Jokic. One of the few guys in history possibly to win 3 MVPs in a row. He's actually got better numbers than some of those MVP seasons. He's also surrounded by Jamal Murray, who looks great, and Aaron Gordon. I don't think Aaron Gordon's actually played this good in his entire career. He's been able to go there, find his game, and he's looking great. Michael Porter's good. This team is really, really, really came together, and they're very formidable now.
Oh yeah, they actually have a fantastic team, man. Like you got Caldwell Pope, you have Brown that's on the team too.
Yeah.
Like they're formidable.
Yeah.
They are formidable, and it helps that you have the Joker, the best passing center we've ever seen, and possibly from some other NBA analysts saying he might just be the best passer anybody's ever seen,
regardless of
position.
Yeah, I know he's absolutely amazing, incredible. On the other end of the scale in the West, the Phoenix Suns are in trouble. 6-game losing streak, 2-9 of their last 11, missing Devin Booker really badly, and starting to sink like a stone. 6 losses in a row, only 1 win in the last 10, and they need Booker back really bad. This team can't win without him, it looks like.
No, they're flailing right now. They can't win without him. Chris Paul is really showing his age as of late, and they need Booker to come back as quickly as possible if they want to start winning some games again.
The other team that's having a hard time is the Clippers. They've lost 6 straight, and they're having some health issues, and they are in trouble. In the East, the team that started blowing me away was Brooklyn, 18-2 in their last 20, but they were dealt a massive blow last night. Kevin Durant sprained his left knee, MCL sprain. They think about 4 weeks he will miss, just after passing Dominique Wilkins for the 14th on the all-time scoring list. Last year, he had an MCL sprain on the other knee. He missed 6 weeks. They think it's not as severe, but they think he's going to miss about 4. And this team really struggles without KD either.
KD was playing some of his best basketball he's ever played in his entire career.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Nets are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Like they're not going on 18-2 without that guy doing what he's doing, and on top of that, playing amazing defense as well. Like he's been playing hard on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
I guess they're gonna just have to rely on Kyrie Irving going forward. Now, hopefully, Kyrie, so far since he's been back, the focus has just been on basketball. I would like to think that the focus will continue to just be on basketball. But history says eventually it won't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's too bad.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I wouldn't hold my breath. I would not hold my breath. He's probably going to do something to blow things up for sure. The Knicks were on a 4-game winning streak going into tonight. I watched them play the Bucks tonight. They lost 111-107. Great battle. Awesome game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Bucks have been struggling a bit. 4-4 out of their last 10. 4 wins out of the last 10. They won tonight, but something's wrong there. It's not really flowing very well. Chicago's playing a bit better lately. 3-game win streak. And the only last note I want to mention is Kemba Walker was waived by the Dallas Mavericks. Will be a free agent. I don't know who's going to pick him up. He only got one start there, played great in that one start, but his injury troubles have really limited him, and this could be it for him. He might not get picked up.
Yeah, I feel that he's been nearing the end of his career for quite some time, especially when he was even with the Knicks. His knees are just not where they need to be for him to perform at the highest levels.
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, really too bad. Okay, let's finish with some combat news. We got the UFC 1 month hiatus over the holidays. They are back this Saturday. It's an early card out of the Apex, and Kelvin Gastelum and Nasruddin Imavov were supposed to fight. Gastelum got hurt over the weekend, was pulled from the card today. Sean Strickland is now in the main event. Sean Strickland was in the main event the last UFC they had before the break, and he will do back-to-back cards as the late replacement. They have moved this. It was middleweight. Now it will be light heavyweight. So they'll both be able to not have to worry about cutting weight. I'm happy about this. Kelvin Gastelum was really not doing great lately. He had lost his last 5 out of his last 6. Strickland did take a loss out of his last one with the Cannonier decision loss, but I think this is a little closer matchup than Imavov. I would favor Imavov in this one, but I'm happy that a change was made.
Yeah, I so am I. I think this is a better matchup. I think this is a better fight altogether. I appreciate the fact that they're doing it at light heavyweight because Christmas just ended, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably pretty smart on their part to do that. Move them both up. Gastelum and Imavov were supposed to fight April of 2022, and that fight got postponed. Gastelum was injured, and now you've got another injury. Supposedly he took a knee to the face and it injured his mouth severely. And let's hope he can recover quickly and get back in there. I wasn't super excited about that main event, but now I'm a little more jacked about it. I think it'll be a great fight. I am really looking forward to some of the other fights on the card. Dan Ige and Damon Jackson. Ige's a little bit struggling right now. He is that 50K guy that's always looking for the bonus. So he goes out on a shield a bit, but I think Damon Jackson is the real deal. He's on a runner right now, hasn't lost a while, and I favor him in this featherweight co-main event.
I think Jackson definitely has the advantage with momentum on his side for sure. But Ige, he's down and he's there to fight. He'll put on an entertaining fight. He's not backing away. He's not hiding. He's coming straight at you. But one of the guys that I always like watching because he just throws for the fences, Soriano.
Yeah,
I love Puna. I love that guy because he kind of throws caution to the wind, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's great. A very entertaining guy, and fighting Roman Krylov, I think that'll be a hell of a fight. I was really disappointed to hear that Jeff Neal and Shavkat Rakhmonov got canceled. That fight would have been a hell of a battle. And we've seen a few fights fall off this card. This isn't a super stacked card for a lot of name fighters. We've got the big UFC pay-per-view next weekend, but there is a Nurmagomedov. And there's there are a few fighters that will be fun. I always like seeing Abdel Razak Hassan. He's a hell of an entertaining fighter, and I'm sure we're going to see some great performances out of a lot of these guys.
We're going to see some good performances for sure. We're going to see some individuals have a chance to shine that we normally won't see. So it'll be a good card. It'll be a good card.
Yeah. We're just over a week away from UFC 283. That's Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill. This is happening in Rio de Janeiro. And we get to see Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno 4, which is unprecedented for the co-main flyweight title. Tons of Brazilians on this card. We get to see Paul Craig break Johnny Walker's arm. We get to see Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny. There's going to be some hell of a lot of amazing battles on this card.
Yeah. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. First off, with Glover and Jamal Hill, that's going to be a good fight because their styles are so completely different. Yeah. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing that fight. I don't disagree with what Dana did there, and that's one of the rare times I don't disagree with him. But I don't disagree with what he did. I think he made a very astute call with having them in the main event for the belt.
Yeah.
Because after this fight is done, somebody's gonna get the belt. It ain't gonna be ending in a draw where nobody gets it.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening here. Right?
Yeah.
And then with the Figueiredo Moreno fight, I think personally, I think that will probably be the best fight of the night. Yeah. Because I think both of them are just like, well, this is it. Like this is literally it. This is the rubber match. We're probably are not allowed to fight each other ever again.
That'll be it.
This is it. This is it. Yeah. So I think both guys are going to come in there, guns blazing for 5 rounds straight, just trying to take each other's heads off. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's unprecedented seeing 4 times. We'll never see 5. So this is their chance to go out and shine and get a belt. And it's exciting. It's going to be amazing. There's a hell of a lot of good guys on this card. I'm looking forward to seeing Shogun, as always, getting to fight the Hulk. He's fighting Pereira. Sorry. Brad Tavares fighting Gregory Rodriguez, who's an amazing fighter. On and on and on. It's gonna be great, and as I said, we're just a week away, a little over a week away from that. You mentioned Dana White there. A lot of backlash over the video that got leaked from the holidays, where Dana and his wife got into a fight, and Dana ended up slapping her. And I'm surprised that he has not faced a lot more backlash, a lot more punishment. What about you? What are your thoughts about this whole ordeal?
Okay, first off, I knew he was never going to lose his job. His job was never going to be jeopardy. Number one, I knew that. Number two, he's the first to admit you should never lay your hands on a woman. Then he did exactly that. Yeah. So, all the backlash that he gets, well deserved. Clearly, it's well deserved. Not as much as I thought there would be, though. Actually, at the end of the day, maybe it's because I've thought of this, and this is horrible. But maybe it's because we already know he's a bully, so we're just kind of almost not surprised that this has happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's unfortunately he has acted like a bully at times, and unfortunately this is a combat sport, so sometimes you don't hold these athletes to the same standards as you do other athletes. Him being the commissioner of this league, I could imagine if Roger Goodell did this. This would be massive news every day, front page news, front of the every newscast for weeks. This would be crazy. So he's lucky he's in this sport, and he seems a bit untouchable. I'm shocked that there hasn't been more backlash and more maybe a punishment. ESPN, Endeavor, UFC, somebody just saying, okay, Dana, it's time to step away. We're going to suspend you. We're going to fine you. There's going to be something, that deters this. I'm worried about fighters seeing this and not thinking that it's a big deal. Hey, my boss got away with it. I should be able to do this and, not expect anything. And it's a little bit dumb. I think that everybody that's running this sport and is involved in the sport isn't holding his feet to the fire a little bit more, because he admitted this is a horrible mistake and something that he shouldn't do. And that there hasn't been much in the way of any punishment.
There hasn't actually been much in the way of accountability, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, I did this. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, he said he's sorry, folks. So we're moving on. And it's just like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know if that's the right message that you want to send, but that's the message that's out there right now. And it's kind of sad. But at the end of the day, he's the boss. And is the boss going to punish himself? I guess not.
Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, it's just too bad. It's too bad it's come out. I've just been so disappointed hearing about it and seeing it, and then seeing everything ever since. Nothing about this has been handled well, I don't think, and it's just too bad that we have to see this happen and deal with it. And I'm really, really surprised at how little it has really affected anything about him, the UFC, or anything going forward. I guess they moved the slap fighting championships up a week. I guess they decided they wouldn't put it starting this week. They would do it one more week. Not really any of a big deal. So anyway, let's move on. I want to switch gears to something good. I do want to mention something sort of sad that happened over the holidays too, but I do want to mention that the WWE is up for sale right now. Vince McMahon has decided to come back, try to get a new deal TV wise, and then try to facilitate a sale. And the UFC owner, Endeavor, is one of the top players trying to buy the WWE. Very interesting news that's just shaken out.
I cannot believe the McMahons are going to get out of the wrestling business completely. I'm actually kind of shocked. I know that the old man was involved in that scandal and stuff, and they tried to keep it hush hush and quiet, but you can't really do that nowadays. That's not a thing anymore. Like, as bad as that was, they kind of got him away from the whole thing, right? They just said, okay, so we're just gonna push you out, and so now you're gone.
Right, yeah.
And then on top of that, Vince McMahon is like, what is he in his freaking 80s? You're old man. He's an old man, so he should be like retiring and should be like going away. My only question is, all right, that's cool that Endeavor wants to do this. Do you know how to run that business? Or are you gonna run it into the ground and then it's not gonna exist anymore?
Yeah,
like, I can easily see them destroying it.
Yeah. Well, they did that with many of the other organizations that they bought. They viewed them as competition, just squashed them, took a few of the bit parts, and then just said goodbye. And that actually is a hell of a good point. And hopefully that's not something that they would be on in the cards or in their thought process whatsoever.
Yeah, because I would worry, because if I'm the McMahons, if I this is our life's blood.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that the people that take over are going to be very good stewards of your product going forward for as long as they're going to be having it as to hold on to as ownership. So, and I just don't know if they have the capacity to do it. Like I have big questions on if Endeavor can do this.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good point. And hopefully, whoever does take it over can run it properly and keep that legacy. The McMahons built that to a worldwide, very huge entertainment for everyone involved. And it would be sad to see that somebody take it over and kill all that hard work. And make it not go. So, okay, I got a couple more notes. Professional Fighters League (PFL) signed Jake Paul to some kind of deal. I'm not really sure how soon he will fight, if he does at all, but very smart of the PFL to get him on board because he is so good at promoting. And if they utilize him to promote this sport, to promote this league, I think this is a big win-win for them. I don't know how good of a mixed martial artist he will be. He has a bit of a wrestling background, obviously has been just a boxer for the past few years. So he's going to have to work on his ground game big time. But I think this is a coup for the PFL, who's tried different models to try to get popular. Not maybe UFC status, but quite up there. And this is, I think, a bold move on their part, but smart.
Yeah, I think it's a bold move. I think it says, a savvy move on their part, because he does have a following, a big following at that. So, and I believe in the contract or in whatever they've worked out that he gets a piece of the organization as well. So, now is he going to be a good MMA fighter? Probably not in the beginning. That's going to be honest there. So, but when it comes to promotions and marketing, you're not going to get anybody better because he's already done it. And he's proven that over and over.
I was impressed with PFL having those tournament type styles for their fights where they ended up having 6 champions all won $1 million. That raised their profile quite a bit. It got a lot of former UFC fighters and a lot of guys that weren't in the UFC moving up and making some serious money that they weren't going to make anywhere else. I think that was very bold and a smart move on their part. And this is just another good move. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Jake Paul can bring promotion wise to this. We'll see if and when he does actually fight MMA. We'll see. Khabib Nurmagomedov announced today that he is retiring from coaching now. He retired in October 2020. He retired from fighting. Now he says he's retiring from coaching so he can concentrate more on being a husband and father to his 3 kids. A little bit strange timing with Islam Makhachev about to fight Alexander Volkanovski next month for the title, but family's super important, and he said he's walking away.
Yeah, well, you know what? He has never been a guy that's been motivated by money.
Yeah.
He's never been that individual. He's never been that person. Sure. And I'm not surprised to hear that because he walked away from huge opportunities when his mom said, "I don't want you doing it anymore." Yeah. After his father passed, and he just said, "Okay, I won't do it anymore." So I applaud him. I applaud anybody that says, "You know what? I'm just gonna put my family first, and I'm gonna focus on that," because he's clearly financially well off.
Yeah,
I think he's fine in those regards, and also too, maybe he's just I've been fighting since I was 4, kind of tired. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You mentioned his mom, and we talked about Dana White. There's an amazing YouTube video of an interview with Dana White's mom. You gotta watch. Holy cow! It was a big eye opener for me today. She's not a Dana White fan, and she throws quite a bit of tough things his way. It's a must watch. It's only about 9 minutes long, but holy cow, it was pretty shocking. Check it out. Anybody that's watching, listening, Dana White's mom, not a fan of Dana White, and she voices her displeasure to how he is now. Some sad news over the holidays. Stephen Bonner passed away. We've lost some mixed martial artists in the last in 2022. We lost some great fighters, and this guy's a Hall of Famer. Really sad to see another guy go before his time, and I can't believe how many mixed martial artists we've seen, just pass away in the past little while.
Stephen Bonner was instrumental in the UFC being where it is now, because that fight with Forrest Griffin is what put the UFC on the map. Yeah. They were floundering. It was like they were like, I don't know how many more shots we have at this, because this is not going well at that point in time. But when that fight happened, that was like the miracle fight for the organization. That was their TSN turning point.
Exactly. Yeah, that was. You're right. Yeah.
That's where everything turned around for the organization. That's where all of a sudden people are like, Dana White's a genius. Look at this guy. Like, that's what happened. Yeah. And so you got to give props, you got to give credit where credit's due. And Stephen Bonner was integral to that. Without Stephen Bonner, you may not have the UFC where it is right now.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he got his due while he was still living. He's in the Hall of Fame and will always be there. And he gave us a lot of amazing performances and a lot of great things to watch. And you're right. We wouldn't probably be talking about the sport today if he didn't do what he did there against Forrest Griffin. And he'll be missed. And it was sad to see him taken way too soon. Finally, the last thing I want to mention is Tank Davis got his victory this weekend against Hector Garcia. Garcia couldn't come out and answer the bell for the 9th round. And this sets up a bout with Ryan Garcia in April. I'm looking forward to that. Finally, hopefully they can put this together. We've been wanting to see this for a while, and Tank did what he had to do this weekend. Let's get those promoters together and make this happen.
Sometimes that's the biggest stumbling block, is the promoters themselves, where everybody's like, can you please make this happen? Like they're in their prime now. This is what we want to see now.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Can you somehow generate enough money? By the way, I think there's going to be enough money that both sides are happy, and then they're going to fight. Because the one thing I love about Ryan Garcia, he's got some of the fastest hands I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like his hands are lightning quick. I've seen YouTube of where he knocked a dude out, and I didn't see what happened. Right? No, and I'm serious. Where I'm like, what happened? Some punch? What did he do? Is he a superhero? I don't know. I had to slow it down. And it was one of the fastest punches I've ever seen in my freaking life. Where I'm like, you can't defend against that. What are you going to do? You're actually just knocked out. That's actually what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, I look forward to that fight, and I hope it happens. I hope they figure it out.
Yeah, this is one of the most anticipated fights in boxing. And, we've seen too many guys go past their prime before these fights get put together. But these guys are in their prime, and there shouldn't be any reason why they don't sign on the dotted line and make it happen. Everybody's going to make money, and we'll get entertained like no other fight really that's on the cards for boxing. So I can't wait. Hopefully it happens. Okay, man. Well, this was awesome. I'm glad we were able to do this. It was nice to have a holiday and nice to have a break, but UFC's back at it this week. We got the NFL playoffs going on. You know that we're halfway through the NBA season already. Craziness. And next week we're going to be talking in the middle of a playoff game after 5 of the playoff games have been played. And it'll be awesome to break it down with you as always, man. Have a great night ahead and have a good week. We will keep in touch.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch. I'm actually going to continue watching the Bucks-Knicks game. I have it paused. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Nice. And my friend, I look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Okay. Sounds good, Jason. Take care, man. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Good night. Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate you sticking in to the end there. That was fun. Awesome podcast. That was great. We covered a lot of material and it was a blast. Thanks. Happy 2023. Hope you guys had a great holiday season. Happy New Year to you all. I want to thank our partners and sponsors. I appreciate all your support as always. And let's keep this going. Tell your friends, tell your family, check out our websites. And I hope you keep tuning in every Monday. And we're going to bring you a few more podcasts through the week, especially in March. March is the biggest month on the Complete Sports Media calendar. There will be so much coming on. We're going to bring you a few new shows, a few new regular guests, and it is going to be awesome. So right around the corner. We can't wait. Love you guys lots. Take care of yourself and have a terrific night. We will talk soon. Love you. Bye for now.